aren't gonna do it for you.
Okay, he just shut it off again. It's none of his business, and he didn't like that, so he shut it off. So this is tampering with evidence again. You're going to get charged every time you do it. You're going to get charged with illegal access to an electronic device and tampering with evidence. Okay? When you contact me also, we get more. I don't care what you think. Did I ask you? No, I did not. I said don't contact me. And when you do it anyway, we always get more intel. We quoted you again all day today and all day yesterday, didn't we? It increases. Notice it increases the more Charles pesters me and takes my money. That increases the intel. When you guys all run around going, how did she find out about that? How did she know we said that? You like it. You have to. If you didn't, you'd stop. You'd get the fuck out of my phone, get out of my business, and fuck off. So he just did it now for a second time. I'm not going to retape over everything again. So we'll just put, however many times you do that, we'll put that out to document. This is how many counts of tampering with my evidence and illegal access to an electronic device charges Mr. Perry will get. By the way, Vito commented on your inability to control yourself and how vulnerable that makes you and easy for him to take over your business. Okay? So your partners have you to thank for that.
Got on these, and I can show this to you. It's public. It's on Facebook. This is the shit we got on these guys, and they were scared that you're trying to take over their business. So we were like, well, maybe they should take over their business. They got heat on them. A lot of people don't want to do business with somebody with heat on them. You guys respect boundaries. They don't. You respect the rules. They don't. They're all over the place. Way crossing the line. Way moving the line. And the guy goes, yeah. And he goes, guess what else? This guy thinks that there's a romance there. And he's done all this stuff that beat Cynthia down, and she called him a pussy. And he actually went into court and pretended to be the victim of a crime because she called him a pussy. And this guy died laughing. He goes, what kind of man humiliates himself like that? He is a pussy. What kind of man humiliates his family like that? That kind of company is easy. That's easy. That's easy to take over. I'd take that over like that. I'll blindside these people. First, we'll make sure everybody knows they got heat on them. Nobody wants to do business with somebody that's got heat on them. Now they got heat on them too. So he can't control himself. He can't. He's mentally ill. Very. He's got Huntington's disease. He's also mentally retarded. Cognitive reasoning is gone. He can't do cause and effect. See, when you do the crime to her, you get caught. Nothing else has happened in 10 years but that. When you do the crime to her, you get caught. When you contact her, we get more. Same thing. And he does it anyway. He just cannot control himself. And the guy's like, wow. That's an easy takeover. You can't have somebody like that running your company, running your organization. They're a liability. Well, all of them are a liability. And who wants to do business with somebody like that? Brings heat on. You don't do business like that, not in this industry, and bring heat on yourself on purpose. Because what kind of man does that? He humiliates himself and his family and his associates. So we got all these names. You get me kicked out of my. I'm starting to look for an apartment and a car. And Charles is running around. Oh, she can't get in the apartment and in a car. And I'm like, wow, it's not your business. It's not your call. I didn't invite you to Oklahoma. I moved twice to get away from you. You need to mind your own business, Connie. Why don't you go out with Connie Curry? You two are the same. Like little buddies, nosy bodies. I mean, nobody asked you. So, because you're causing me a problem, we get to Muffin Man nickname. That's a nickname. Muffin Man is a nickname. That's not his real name. It's like the code words. They're all daycare code words. Hansel and Gretel, Rumpelstiltskin, all that. They have these code words. We have code words too, but they don't know our code words. We're quoting them, not quoting us. They don't have our people's names. It's a need to know. It's harder to hit a target if you don't know what the target is. We're very smart and shrewd in what we do. Then, after he starts trying to get me kicked out of my apartment, we get these names. Blankenship, Desiree, Calvin, who's bald and fat, Richard, Ringtone Richard. You fuck with me, we start getting intel, Charles. That's nothing else happens. Nothing else. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with you. but you're an easy takeover, and you think it's up to you where I live? You are off your nut. You're fucking off your nut. Then we get Lucius, Sanjay, Geppetto, your witch. Sanjay's your hacker. Who's Monique? Where's she right now? Beverly's worried about my shoes. James, Ruben, Dickie, Richard, Kate, Lawrence, Brian, Jeremy, Oscar, Bittencourt. Oscar and Bittencourt are the same guy, I guess. And then Charles asked me if Ty's a leak, Jim's a leak, Stephanie, Kim. I know about a bunch of Ty's, a bunch of Jims, a bunch of Kims. I know one Stephanie, and I don't know how you know her. Yipes. We got Tim and Greg, and I don't know who Kiki is. Charles typed that in my phone. Doug, your Huntington's disease problem. This is just unbelievable shit that we have, that we can take to court and get right now we're getting investigatory orders, new ones or extended ones. Every time you contact me, we get more. Charles, you're not getting a date. Nobody's in love with you. You don't have a woman trying to hold your hand. You're getting told on, dum-dum. You get told on when you do the crime to me. It's like you go to a bank to rob the bank, and it's got this high-tech security, and the alarms are screaming and yelling, and you got police on the way, and you're complaining, but you won't run out of the building. And we're like, God, it's so easy, it's not even fair. You must want it, you must like that, or you'd run out of the building. Why didn't you pick the thing across the street with the one little camera in the front, and the security guard falls asleep? Okay, you want a Papa John's? That's your code word, right? That a Papa John's means to make delivery of a trafficking victim. Any other victims know this before you actually traffic?
Just did it again.
No, but I do. What? You think it's up to you where I live? We're like, these people are not all there to have that kind of conversation after we quoted you again all day.
Mr. Perry, I'm not going to be trafficked. I'm not going to be trafficked. I said no. Most victims don't have the information that I have from inside your criminal organization. You're about to be taken over. You've showed yourself weak. You've showed yourself pathetic. You've embarrassed everybody. You have no control over yourself. You have no discipline. You have no life. I said no. Now, any one of you got everything else after that is coercion, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and rape. Crime after crime after crime after crime. And the kind that will get you beat the fuck up in jail. We're quoting you every day. I know you just had a meeting where you just said, we got to get her to leave Oklahoma. Well, will you sit around and you decide where you think I'm going to live? So we're quoting your meetings. We had a meeting in response to that, and you have no idea what was said. Not a clue. You now have heat on you, that's us, and you have a competing organization ready to take over because you have heat on you. You have heat on you because you're on me. It's different when you do it to me. It's the same every time you do it. Gosh, you could get crisis management over there and lie and say she's suicidal or crazy because she's moving her mouth. There's 1,000 reasons for that. For her to be moving her mouth. Prayer, singing a little song on the phone. Bunch of reasonable explanations for that. She might be talking on the phone. Whatever. But how are you going to explain how you knew where she was? See, you are accused of stalking. Stalking is a felony crime. You're not wanted. You're a fucking reject. Too stupid to figure out how to just move on like everybody else can do when they get rejected. And not only once, but there's 9 years of that. There's never been anything. There's nothing. I don't feel it for you. You make my skin crawl. All of it. I feel nothing for you but deep disgust. You make me vomit. You're not wanted. You're rejected. And you can't be a man about it and move on, which your competing organizations are fascinated with how pathetic that must be. Doesn't have any self-control, and he's pathetic. And he's a pussy. She's not wrong. She's right. He actually went into court and complained about being the victim of a crime because he's beat her down, which weak men do that, beat women down, and then complained that she called him a pussy. That's exactly what he is. I can take that business over easily. What kind of man humiliates himself like that? That's not a man. But I'll tell you what, all we have to do is make sure people know They don't want to do business with a guy like that. He's got heat on him. They don't want that on them. They don't want to be quoted. Right? So, we'll take it over. We'll blindside him. We'll make sure everybody knows he's got heat on him. You make sure, we'll make sure, we all make sure. That way, this guy is gone. That way, this guy is just gone. Right? Not around to cause problems, not around to intrude, not around to butt in to things that are none of his business. Not around to have a meeting about stuff that doesn't concern him. But that's what they said. He can get crisis management to go over there because she's moving her mouth and nobody else is around. Oh, God. It's not like she's waving a knife in the air or something. I don't have a weapon. There's no weapon. There's no harm. They're sitting there praying. Oh, my God, let's get crisis management to say she's crazy. Oh, I'm on the phone. Oh, my God, let's get crisis management to say she's crazy because I can't see the phone. Too far away. And the guy was like, and then explain how, I heard it was my uncle, but I'm not sure. Explain how you knew where she was going to be when she was doing that. Because the allegations against you are felony stalking. Okay? You want to give us another I told you so? Mr. Koonsweiler's going to be upset she didn't take the freeway. How would he know whether or not I took the freeway? Because you hacked my Dasher app? We need you to make positive ID and get her tag off her car. Dasher customer. We hacked her Dasher app. We want to make sure we hacked the right account. Got around an algorithm that chooses drivers randomly. She magically got you. And we know you. We're trying to get her on the freeway. Now, how do I know you said all that? Because when you contact me, when you invade my privacy, when I'm broke, when Mike's in jail, that's what we get. We get that to put you in jail. So you're not around to fuck with people anymore. So yeah, Vito, I mean, he thinks he agrees with me. Okay? You want to take us both to court? Be my guest. I'd love to see that. After he takes over your company, take his ass to court for calling you a pussy. What kind of man humiliates himself like that? He just showed himself as weak. I can take that business over, and he doesn't have any control over himself. That's even better. And my guy's like, and he can't tell fact from fiction. He can't do it. He doesn't know what's real and what he imagined. He doesn't know. Can't understand a word you say. Believe me, she has to repeat herself constantly. He doesn't get it. Doesn't understand her. Doesn't understand anybody. It's like he thinks he's quoting us. And he's not. He didn't even know who we were. We won't even call him back. We heard he's looking for us. We won't call him. We're not going to dignify that with a phone call. We call her. We talk to her. But we're not talking to him. So, reality is, we know what you said in your meetings. You don't know what we say in ours. And you think it's up to you. And we don't have any words for that. We're saying it now before you do it. We're establishing mens rea, premeditation, and malicious forethought. Don't contact me, you fuck. I don't like it. When you contact me, every time we get more, because I fucking hate it. It's nasty, it's gross, it's vulgar, it's obscene, and you're a sick, twisted motherfucker who can't control himself. And you're about to be taken over because you can't.
Today, they are not all there. It is something. They think it's up to them. When we quote you, is it up to you? No, it's not. Charles, you're delusional. Diagnosed delusional. Huntington's disease causes delusion. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. So you don't get to decide these things. It's none of your business, and you will butt out, or they'll do it for you. Listen, here's the thing. The same guys that gave me all this are gonna do it for you. You're gonna get out of my life, or they're gonna do it for you, the same way they got all this. And then had a conversation with somebody who wants to take over your business. It's not hard, you brought heat on you. And you got somebody who's not all there running the whole thing, who's delusional. Thinks it's up to him. Wow, ouch. When we heard you talking about my vacuum cleaner, Bettencourt, or Oscar, or whoever, was it up to you? It wasn't. Why did you think anything else would be up to you? He's gonna do it for you. You're not entitled to anything. Nobody did anything to you. You're getting caught doing something to me. All you have to do is stop, run out of the building. The alarm's going off, dum-dum. Now go to court and make yourself... Oh, that's what he said. He went into court and claimed that he's a victim of a crime because she called him a pussy, my guy goes, he did. And he goes, a man like that is weak. A man like that is weak, that he would humiliate himself. I can't even. She is a pussy. He proved her right. It's exactly what he is. Yeah, I can take a business over like that in a heartbeat. I'll blindside this guy. It won't be hard. So we're putting that out. That's what he wants to do. Because you made yourself vulnerable. When you contact me, you get caught. See that right there? That's a McNamara email. We got it before you did it, not after. Any other victim able to say that? You wanted to do a false arrest, you still do. To coerce a lie. You want people to lie for you, and I said, fuck you. You kidding me with that, right? You're shitting me with that, right? Get the fuck out of here. The same guys that got that from me, and all this, Charles, they'll do it for you. I'm not worried. You guys can come over here and scream and yell at me all you want and take my car. And the things that I have now that I just bought, replace the stuff you took last year when I had to walk away from everything you took last year. Everything's replaceable. But you know what's not replaceable? A bunch of little kids getting raped every day that need to get free. My freedom, my privacy. People who have lost years of their life because of you. We're going to end it. I told you that when I met you. We're ending it. The crime bullshit that you do is going to stop. I didn't tell you that when I first met you, but not long after. So this criminal activity, we're putting a stop to it. And so every time we quote you, what do you think we were doing? What is it you think we're doing with this information, Mr. Perry? Just not all that, are you? I think you don't know what's real and what you imagine anymore. It happens when you get a disease like that. Okay, so we quoted you actually again today, talking about, look at that, you gotta tell us, you haven't told me yet. Go ahead, did you want to give me another I told you so? Oh, we did say, it's none of their business. And then look at this. There's your competition is wanting you. You're not making it hard. All he has to do is go on, oh, they got heat on it. You want to deal with somebody who got heat on? You want to they heat on you too? And by the way, we got a princess here running that thing. He went into court and made a thing about being called a pussy when he liked to beat down women. What do you think about that? I think how would a man humiliate himself like that and expect to be respected as a man among men, not men like us? What you want to do business? No, not with you. You're weak. Okay, so you got. Then they wanted to. What's this? Couldn't get her on the freeway. Mr. Coolswheeler's going to be mad. Why does he care? You hacked my Dasher app. We've said that. Everybody knows that you're hackers. That's illegal to do that, by the way. So you can get somebody to make proper ID of me and get the ID tag whatever off my car. We've said it. It's illegal to do that. The accusations against you are stalking, hacking, voyeurism, coercion, human trafficking, false imprisonment, kidnapping and rape and murder, murdering cops and shit. Proving us out. You look guilty. Why are you in Oklahoma? And then you had this other thing that was kind of weird today. We're gonna have crisis management. She's sitting there in the, over there on the bench where we should know that she's there right now. The whole town of Tulsa, how many benches are there? Okay, so we know where she is, and she's sitting on the bench and her mouth's moving, and there's nobody there. So let's call crisis management. She's talking to herself, and the guy's like, I can't pull crisis management people away from those who are truly mentally ill, so you can lie. And is she a danger to herself? Or no, she's just sitting there muttering. Well, okay, here's what I do. One, I'm on the phone, and you can't see the phone or the earpiece. Two, I'm praying. I pray every day. Sometimes outside. Sometimes I like to pray in nature, where I feel close to God. Sometimes I'm doing my affirmations. Every day I do affirmations. And you move your mouth when you talk and do your affirmations. Sometimes if I'm like walking or something, I usually don't do this sitting on a bench. I usually do this one in the middle of something. I'll think through a problem out loud. It doesn't mean I'm crazy. It means I'm thinking through a problem out loud. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes what I want to do is when I'm saying, okay, here's this problem, here's how I think it can solve the problem, I can do X, Y, Z. And it might be my schedule for the day. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll go to the laundry first, then I'm gonna go to the store, and I'm gonna say, sometimes I'll say it out loud because I want to hear it out loud because I feel like it might maybe confirm whether this is a good idea or not a good idea. If other people hear me say this, if I'm hearing myself say this, does it sound stupid or does it sound like a great idea? Or does it need some tweaking? Maybe it's a good idea, but we gotta tweak it here and there. It depends on what it is. I can do this. So I may talk out loud. I may sing. I may be singing. I'm not the greatest singer, so I tend to only sing loud in the car, not like in public where other people can really hear me. But why would you know where I was? That's what this guy said. He goes, yeah, I think it was my uncle. Her uncle said the same thing. What are you gonna prove? That you know where she is and you shouldn't? You know the allegations against you are stalking. That is a felony crime. So you got somebody, and I did have some lady behind me like filming me, and I'm like, oh my god. Well, it's become like Neil, where everywhere I go, there's pictures. We got pictures. We're gonna take him to court and prove we're not stalking you in the state of Oklahoma with the pictures we take of you working in the state of Oklahoma where you look at me. I'm just working. I'm not breaking the law. I'm just sitting on a bench doing my affirmations or saying my prayers to God or singing or talking on the phone. None of it's your business, is it? Call crisis intervention. She's moving her mouth and nobody's there. Let's make her look crazy. Because we really need her to look crazy. We gotta discredit her. Because she's dead on the money on every crime we've committed for the last 10 years. What the fuck are we gonna do now? Let's make her leave Oklahoma. Wow. Let's have her aunt tell her. Let's have her uncle tell her. I already told you. My family opened the door and let you in. And shoved me out. You really think my family has any pull with me, Mr. Perry? The only people that have influence over me is the people that got me this. And that, by the way, wasn't up to you, was it? No, it was not. So be my guest, Bittencourt, or whoever. Come tell me I gotta leave the state of Oklahoma. Then you're gonna have to deal with the guys that got me this. I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna look at you and go, thanks for your opinion. Don't butt into my life again. Charles just contacted me again, Mr. Bittencourt. Every time he contacts me, we always get more intel. He was told not to. And I don't care what he thinks. Why would I care what Looney Tune thinks? I don't go to the nut house and ask those people what they think about my life. Why would he go to Charles? He's no different. He's not even a little bit different. He thinks watching TV is like John Hinckley Jr. It's a romance. Well, it's not real to me. My 1-year-old granddaughter, she should be about 1 now. You know what she can do? Watch TV and do this all day. Where's my doll? Where's my doll? She can do that. So can a retarded monkey. You're not impressing me. You're not impressing anybody. You're pissing everybody off. You know what impresses me? Guys that can get this, some sort of nefarious, illegal plan to hurt me and butt into my business. That's what impresses me. That's who I listen to. That's who's been there for me. Mr. Perry, you're a harm. You are a danger to others. I'm not a danger to myself or others. Mr. Perry, stop contacting me. I just did it again. Twice now in the last 2 minutes. Every time.
Okay, so what he'll do is he'll type in my other phone. So he was typing in my phone, is your family a leak? I'm not told who the leaks are. It's a need to know. I don't need to know that. Am I repeating myself slowly enough for you? I'm not told who the leaks are. I don't even care. I don't want to hear from you again. Don't contact me again. I won't help you. I want you gone. We all want you gone. Everybody's sick of you. Did I say it slowly enough for you? Did I repeat myself slowly enough for you? Reality is you're not liked. You're not wanted. You've caused a lot of problems. Major, major, major problems. And everybody hates you for that. So we get the help with information. We're quoting you. Okay? You don't know who gave me that. They're not going to call you. You've made yourself look weak going into court and saying a bunch of bullshit you know isn't true. Your little crisis management thing today, the guy's like, I can't pull crisis management away from legitimate needs, so you can come up with a lie to discredit this girl. Is she a danger to anybody? She might be sitting there muttering to herself. Is she actually dangerous? No. But maybe she's suicidal. No. Not even a little. Not even kinda. I've lost everything I have maybe twice now. No, well, more, even in Lubbock. I lost a whole storage unit full of crap in Lubbock. Because you take that. You take people's stuff. That's what you do. I don't care. It's just stuff. I've got a little bit here. I guess you called my ex-husband. And we can't deliver yet. Was he promised money or something? Did he say? She wanted me to put the title of her car in my name so you couldn't get it. Now I wish I would have. I would just go get the car. You get a traffic to get the money so I can have my part. How many people are on that list? Did he say that? Is that true? I mean, you tell us. Is that true or not? I mean, some of this you're proving out already. And we're all like, we told you so. We told you he hacked my Dasher app, and we told you he's getting pictures of me working in Oklahoma. You know who's not? John Steinmetz, Steve Massengale, Dan Pope, John Frullo. They couldn't care less what bench I'm praying on, or talking on the phone on, or doing my affirmations on. Maybe she's suicidal. Maybe you could just lie and say she's suicidal. If you use the word just in front of a lie, does that make it less of a lie? We heard it. Because when Charles contacts me, we always get more. When he starts asking me about leaks, what in the fuck planet are you on that you think I would help you? What planet are you on that you think I give a fuck what you think? Did I ask you? No. Nobody understands why you think I care what you think. Or why you think I would help you with leak information. I'm not even told that. I wouldn't help you if I was. We all are sick of you. And all the problems and all the drama, we're sick of you. Of all the problems you're making. You weren't invited to Oklahoma. Why are you here? Why are you bothering me? Why are you bothering me, sir? I don't like you. I moved 2 times to get away from you and have no drama and have no problems and have no contact with you and have no conflict. Completely started my life over again and had my young son do it too. Twice. What in the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you bothering me? Everybody's sick of that. Because they're sick of you, we're getting help and you're not. We're quoting your meetings. When we got this, when we talked
contact me, we always get more because
when we got this, okay, and they told me about it, and they had a meeting about it, were you in on that? No, you were not. Do you know one single name of any guy helping me? No, you don't. They won't call you back. They're not going to dignify you with a phone call. They'll talk to me all the time. They know exactly how much money I should have and how much money you've taken. So, by the way, we heard another conversation. They were talking to somebody about the club. She says you ran all the customers out of the club. How did that happen? Well, we rented it out a couple times, and she said that people would drive all the way out there to find that it's been rented out and they can't go in. So they're not going to do that again. That's a long drive. They're not going to do it twice. There's a lot more to it than that we know. I'm not going to get into that right now, but there's a hell of a lot more to it than that. And can they make a charge of coercion and the act is grand larceny with intent to coerce, or deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce, or interference with contracts and commerce with intent to coerce, or any of that? Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Can they do that? And he goes, if that's the act, yes, they can. The charge is coercion. In the charge, they have to describe what the person did that constituted coercion. So as long as they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt, they absolutely can. And we are. Okay? Expect it. Expect it. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Nothing else happens but you get caught. That's it. We quoted you guys all day yesterday and all day today. Mr. Powell, have her pulled over and tell her she can't do that again. And I'm like, Actually, you can't use, well, somebody else told him, you can't use taxpayer dollars, resources, for your personal financial gain, Mr. Powell. So you can't do that, sir. I mean, we're at a loss. We've quoted you every day for 7 years, all day long. The more Charles contacts me, the more crime you do to me, the more you invade my privacy, the longer Mike Neely's in jail, the longer I'm broke, the more we get. Look how much more we got since March 2020 when he first said, Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You are not to contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly, ever again. Don't do it. She's not to be broke and have to ask for help again. Period. We know how much money she can make. So, stop, or we're going to do it for you. And then when we quote you, that's part of what they're doing. They're doing it for you. So now, not only that, but since we found out you thought there might be a criminal organization that competes, that was doing some of this, they weren't. They are now. They want to take over. You showed yourself weak. The second you walked into a courtroom and claimed that you were a victim of anything, she called me a pussy. He goes, I would agree with her 100%. I think he is a pussy. I can't imagine what kind of man would humiliate himself like that. He showed himself weak. He can't control himself. That kind of organization is very easy to take over when that's the leadership. He can't control himself. He's got no grasp on reality. He doesn't know what's fiction, what he imagined, or what's real. He doesn't know. Half the time he has no idea what you just said. You can tell by his reaction, he doesn't know. So, all of your questions, Mr. Perry, need to be directed to your attorney. You're paying your attorney for information, not me. You're trying to starve me. You're not going to get shit out of me. I'm not on your side. I'm very much against you. I'm not for kids being raped. And then they got to shit on the floor and stink up the whole house. The guy said that place smells like a sewer. That compound in Houston. Smells like a damn sewer. Because those kids shit on the floor. They're being sodomized. They gotta be. No, kids don't. Kids don't normally go shit on the floor. So if they are, something's wrong. That's abuse. That's a sign of abuse. That's pretty sad. That you would do that to a child. You don't care. You don't have any control over yourself. You're completely controlled by a sex weirdo problem. And it's extremely embarrassing to everybody else. So you've made yourself weak in that way. And you got now heat on you. You got a criminal organization ready to take you over. And you got a show of weakness. And nobody wants to do business with a guy with heat on him that gets quoted every fucking day. I said no to the trafficking. Fuck you. You're out of your mind. You guys, when you're quoting...
Don't like it. Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. When you can do what we can do and you're quoting us, then we'll talk about who decides where I live. But you don't know, my guys. You don't know what your target is. You haven't hit it yet. You can't fight a battle and win if you don't know what the target is. And you don't know. We do everything we can possibly do to make sure you don't know. Okay? We're very good at what we do. No one has caught your crime like this. Anybody else have your code words? Any other victim have your code words? Any other victim know they were sold beforehand? Any other victim quotes you every fucking day when you have a stupid little meeting? Call crisis management. We gotta make her look crazy. She was sitting on a bench muttering. We filmed it. Wow, how'd you know where she was gonna be? Didn't she say you're stalking her? She didn't get on the freeway. Wow, didn't she say you hacked her Dasher app? Why does Mr. Kunstweiler care? Why does he care? Isn't he supposed to represent victims? Didn't we just have somebody get very upset last night? She's in violation of Texas Penal Code. Yep, she's not in Texas. Nor are you. None of you are in Texas. So I don't see how Texas law applies to people who are all in Oklahoma. All of you are in Oklahoma. She came up here to get away from you, and you guys are here. All followed her up here, and you've done nothing but make trouble, and you won't leave. So what does Texas law have to do with anything? Not the same as Canadian law. And then the guy goes, so what? How many Oklahoma penal codes has Charles violated against her? Why isn't he in jail? That whole conversation pissed me off for that reason. When I use third person, when I speak in the third person, I'm quoting other people. By the way, most people don't need that explained. They just figure that out on their own. So how many times do I got to repeat myself very slowly for the mentally ill guys that can't understand? I'm not going to be trafficked. You are caught. That is a very serious, egregious crime. You're caught. You got caught because you did the crime to me. Any other victims say that? I know your code words. I know your names. I know you trafficked me, or you think you did. I know you want to starve me and deprive me of basic rights and needs to try to force me to do what you want me to do against my will. And I'm still saying no. I've still said no. So I guess my ex-husband was like, she spent all that school loan money and she's going to walk away from everything she has. Well, probably not. But here's the thing. Even if I had to do that, most of the money that I got, which is nobody's business, I spent on paying bills because I'm so behind since Mr. Perry likes to deprive women of food and shelter to coerce them into being trafficked. That's his thing. That's what he does to all the victims. They all do it to all victims. They don't, it's not like I like him. It's not like I would do what he wants me to because I just think he's this great guy. I hate him. Everyone does. We get the help. He does not get help. We're quoting him. He's not quoting us. We get the help, not him. People hate him. They want him gone. Wasn't invited to Oklahoma. And he came up here and has done nothing but make problems. And everything's a thing. And everything's an ordeal. And everything's a big mess. And then we'll tell him, you need to fix the mess you made. And he won't fix it. So then we get a shit ton more. Because the guys are like, fine, we'll do it for him. We'll fix the messes for him. And he's not going to like how we do it. Any more than he likes us quoting him. So, but, there's that. That's his choice. He's a grown man. That's his choice. He can live with his choices. And, so I spent very little money on anything that I would walk away from. But here's the thing. Last year at this same time, you tried to do it then. And I lost everything I had. So whatever I have now replaced that. Which means it can also be replaced. But you know what can't be replaced? A little child's soul. A little child who's being sodomized and abused so badly, they go shit on the carpet in the living room and make the whole house smell like sewer. My privacy. My children's childhood. They didn't get a childhood because of you. A lot of kids, John Neely's life, Mike Neely's, all these years. We can't get that back. Lucky Miller's life, we can't get that back. They talked about the Jeff Epstein case a few hours before the murder because they just took my case. It was a vandalism case. Maybe it's stalking related, maybe not. But apparently it was because 6 days later, you killed Chief Miller and tried to kill Mike and framed him. You did the same thing to Mike you did to me. You give us some kind of drug, we don't die, we end up false arrested. Right? You've been trying to do it to me again ever since. I'm in Oklahoma where I wasn't invited and don't live, but the stalking victim does. Going everywhere she goes, finding out when she's sitting on a bench in a park, praying, trying to figure out if I can get crisis management to go over there and say she's crazy, because we can see her mouth moving and nobody's there. No person is there. Who's she talking to? God? Or I'm on the phone and you can't see the earpiece or my phone. Like it's any of your business. Why do you know where I am? That's what he just says right here. Why do you know where she is? Are you not paying attention, dum-dum? You're getting accused of stalking. You're accused of stalking. Charles, you're being accused of stalking, hacking, being a peeping Tom, all crime, trafficking people, coercion, false imprisonment, kidnapping, rape, sex offender. Now, that's either true or it's not. You're about to have all this become part of a criminal trial, at which time the prosecutor has to prove beyond reasonable doubt, and you'll have your say then. Meantime, there's another organization that thinks you're weak and pathetic because you went into court and said, after I've ripped up her life over and over and over and retaliated against her for her testimony in court, then she called me a pussy. That's the worst I did? Really? And it hurt your feelings? So you claim to be the victim of what? So now you got, a guy Vito, mob type guy who also thinks you're a pussy. What kind of man humiliates himself like that? He just showed himself to be weak, and he has no self-control. And that kind of organization is very easy to take over. And he also has no grasp on reality. He's delusional. So I can take that business over easily. People don't want to do business with guys like him because they're a liability. And they got heat on them. They don't want to be quoted too. Right? Mr. Perry, you don't matter. I do. I'm quoting you. You're not quoting me. We're getting the help. You're not. Because I matter, not you. Who's helping me? Nobody will help. Nobody will tell you that. You don't deserve the answer to that. We make sure you don't know that because you can't win against a target you can't see or you don't know who it is. Right? If you don't know who it is, you can't see him. You can't just call up some PD and go, stop stopping my crime. And bully him like you do me. Right? Or do something like you did to Lucky and Mike. You can't, because you don't know who to call. So, when you contact me, you're asking for it. We always get more when you do that, because I don't like it. I fucking hate it. You were told to stop. You were told, control yourself and stop, or we're going to take this intel and do it for you. Is that what you want? You like getting caught? Do you like getting caught? When you contact me, that's all that happens. You get caught. You cause a loss for me. You make me broke. You cause problems. You cause drama. We get more. Because you were told to stop. They'll do it for you. That's your choice. You can live with your choices, can't you? Yeah, so here's this. We're going to hack her phone, illegal access and use of an electronic device, where she has the reasonable expectation of privacy, the Supreme Court said. And we're going to have her get on the freeway so we can have her pulled over by OHP this time. And you were recorded talking about it, so I didn't take the freeway. When Charles contacts me, we get more in. He invades my privacy, they invade his. Causes problems for me, they're going to cause 20 for you. You asked for it. You know that's been that way for 7 years. You do it anyway. You asked for it. And we got this. Yeah, and I'm like, why is Kunzweiler worried about whether or not I get on the free? What's he got to do with it? Mr. Perry? What's Mr. Kunzweiler? That's why it's a need to know right there. Because if Mr. Kunzweiler is in on that, then our guys are going to make sure you don't find out who they are until it's too fucking late. Okay? You're not going to bully them. They're not going to be your bitch. They have greater aspirations in their careers in law enforcement than to be your bitch. Best I can do in my career in law enforcement is to be the bitch of a sex weirdo. Yeah, that's not their thing. You're not going to hear them say that. Doesn't matter who else says it. They're not saying it. We don't say it. I'm not saying it. You hear me saying it? I'm not saying it. Right? I'll eat out of a dumpster. How much am I worth then? I lose millions if I can't traffic her. Uh-huh. So I'm worth millions? You paid millions of dollars to buy us all this intel. So how much am I worth if I'm eating out of a dumpster? Huh? Because you know I'll do it. I'm not going to be trafficked. And I've told you that over and over and over and over and over. And you sit around and you make a fool of yourself, bullshitting yourself. Vito thinks you're great. Easiest target I've ever had. Doesn't even know the difference between fact. Just lies to himself. Look how many texts Mr. Perry blocked today. Well, you can tell what he didn't like. There's what's happening. If somebody's stalking me and sees me on a park bench and my mouth is moving and nobody's sitting next to me, why do you know what park bench I'm on? There's a lot of park benches in Tulsa. But for stalking, how do you know which one I'm on? Huh? Yeah. Don't contact me. I fucking don't like it. You're gonna pay for it when you do. You pay for it with intel. Okay? All that money you paid for your cover-up bought us intel. Bought us the truth. You have absolutely nothing else. We don't know what your goals and objectives are. Ours are put the bad guy in jail. Slay the dragon. Tell the victims you're safe now. He won't hurt you again. That's our goal. I'm not a cop, but I'm helping these guys. I'm something. Aren't I? Mr. Powell's like, what's her authority? Mr. Powell, don't worry about it. The people that told me what they did, that's who you need to worry about. The people that told me that you called and wanted the police to pull me over and tell her come to my home, tell her she can't do that anymore. Can't do what? That's all I heard is tell her she can't do that anymore. And the guy was like, you're not using cops for that. Why don't you hire a PI? She'd have to hire a PI. She can't just call up Tulsa Police and have you pulled over. So why are you doing that? Yeah, you're going to have to face them, Mr. Powell. And right now, they're not going to say who they are because they're not going to be the bitch of a sex weirdo. And they're not going to have their time wasted getting bullied and threatened and harassed like I am. Okay? They use what you guys do to me for the case. We've heard that question. Why isn't she a witness protection? Defeats the purpose. Because these guys have no self-control and can't leave me alone. When they do the crime to me, they get caught. It's been that way every day for 7 years. You do the crime to me, you get caught. Cause effect. You touch the hot stove, you get burned. Am I saying that too fast for you, Mr. Perry? Am I repeating myself too fast for you? Do I need to speak slower? When you do the crime to me, it's like touching a hot stove. You get burned. And you touch it anyway. You doesn't get any more dumb than that. So, who got me this? Not just at any random time, but when you had me false imprisoned. That made my heart happy to get that. You're the button. You've caused fear and sadness. Fabian intersects with the word hope. It's not just any name, it's his name. I guess somebody asked about, well, what's this deal with Fabian? It's a would-be boyfriend. It was somebody that said I'd like to get to see what he was like. My friend said, are you dating anybody? And I said, I like my manager. I'd like to see what he's like. And and I sent it in a private Facebook message. Next thing we know, I go to work and he's pissed. Somebody noticed that, Mr. Perry, the other day. She's got a lot of texts from people that all of a sudden just stop. There's no fight. There's no fuss. Just all of a sudden they won't communicate with her anymore. So you can tell Charles is interfering in her relationships, and now everybody's worried they don't have anybody to influence her. Because everybody opened the door and let Charles in and shoved her out. So there'll be normal conversations, and then all of a sudden there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no fight. There's no text where you can see that they had an argument or a disagreement that would cause that. But all of a sudden, if you read my emails before my shrink did, before I met you, you can tell you were very loved. You can tell you had a lot of friends. There's all kinds of emails. There's all kinds of texts. All kinds of Facebook messages and posts on your Facebook page. And then all of a sudden, nothing. The second you met Charles Perry. Button into shit that does not concern you. So the guy said, in March 2020, you don't invade her privacy. You don't contact her or her family any way, shape, or form. Not directly, not indirectly. Stay away from them. And she'd better not be broke again. And if you do it, then we'll stop you. We will. We'll get a whole lot of intel, we'll get a whole lot of evidence, and we'll take it to court, and we'll put you in jail with it. And the more we get, the easier it'll be to get a conviction. And in the meantime, we might point out to some competing criminal organizations who have their act a little more together than you do. Whole lot sharper. Whole lot more organized. Whole lot more efficient. They respect rules. Even the mafia has rules. They have some self-control and discipline. And you don't. And we'll make sure that they know you got heat on you. And that you're getting quoted every day. What does that mean for your business? And that you went into court after beating down women and children. And actually, with a straight face, said you were a victim because you were called a pussy. What is a man like a... Imagine, let's just say I'm not saying it's Las Vegas Mafia. It could be Chicago. There's a lot of places. So... what is a guy like that going to think of a guy like you? Huh? Not impressed, I'll say that. So we'll make sure they know we quote you every day. And let's see how uncomfortable people are talking to you. Because they don't want to get quoted too. They have the power to get this puzzle to me. They have the power to do a lot of things. Right now, you don't know what we can and cannot do. But I'll tell you one thing. You get caught like never before in your life when you fuck with me. And you act like it's the other way around. You act like you think you're quoting us, and you're not. You act like you think you know our guys' names, and you don't. So, somebody needs to get Mr. Perry a little more, give him some clarity on the facts, Every contact you make to me is a disgust, and so we get more intel. Direct your questions to your attorney. Bother him with that. You're paying him. You're not paying me. You're trying to starve me. It's inappropriate for you to contact me anyway. Very inappropriate. So the guys that tell me what you guys just said, it's up to them, not you. And by now you gotta know that. And I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not leaving, and I'm not being trafficked. And you're more than welcome to take your little pink panties off and quit acting like girls and hiding behind my family, hiding behind a computer, and you come tell me yourself. Don't expect to get very far. Okay? The guys that gave me this, was it up to you when I got that? No, it was not. And there's not much that is. And we're all, wow, these guys bullshit themselves a lot. Because they act like they think they're quoting our meetings. To sit around and have a conversation like, where is she going to live? Where is she going to move? Is she not going to leave? Wow, what planet are you on? You're not paying attention. We're quoting you every time you say that. You want to give me another I told you so? You come over here and tell me that to my face. Don't you hide behind my family. They don't have any influence over me anymore because they made a choice to open the door and let you in their life and let you in their home and shove me out. And that was their choice. You think now they're going to pop up and influence my decisions? You're off your nut. You have fallen down and bonked your little head on the pavement if you think that. Doesn't mean I hate them, but they don't influence me. Why would they? They weren't there for me. The guys that got me this were. They influenced me. I'll do what they want. They protected me all this time. They're about to put you in jail. And then we don't have to deal with this anymore. I guess somebody was mad at my cousin. You guys should have sat Cindy down when she first got here and asked her, do you like Charles? Do you want him in our life? Well, no. That's why I moved here, to get away from him. Okay, well, let's all call him, because he's been calling us. He says you're a couple. He says you're just too afraid to say it, and here's what he says. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. Let's all call him, and we'll confront him, and tell him he's not to call us anymore. And then we put you on speakerphone, and we all together as a family say, your presence isn't wanted here. You're not invited here. Don't call us again. Just like that. A united front. Stay the fuck away from all of us. Okay? You come around us, we'll call the cops. You leave everybody the fuck alone. Leave everybody alone. You got a wife and kids and family and hopefully grandkids. Go be with your family. Go be with your wife. Go work. And leave everybody the fuck alone. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. Why are you here all the time? Why are you always in Oklahoma where I am? I don't go to Texas. This stuff is not happening in Texas. We went over that last night. I slept in my car 6 months, ate twice a week, took a bath twice a week, to not go to Texas, because my ex-husband lives in Texas. He's like, I got a spare room, you can live here. Why would I do that? I'm staying out of Texas. It's dangerous. And I'm not going to Texas. There's no benefit from the laws of Texas for me. I've not purposefully availed myself. I've purposely tried as hard as I can not to go to Texas. Why are you in Oklahoma? Because nobody invited you to Oklahoma, and we'd all like you to get the fuck out. Because all you've done is cause drama and problems, and everything's a thing, and everything's an ordeal, and it's a nightmare all the time. I shouldn't be broke. I shouldn't have my privacy invaded. Not on DoorDash, not in my home, nowhere. Not in my phones, nothing. So why are you always concerning yourself with things that are none of your business? Dan Pope's not, John Fuller's not, John Steinmetz isn't, Steve Massengale's not. Why are you? Why the fuck are you? So, Ted Cruz isn't? Why are you bothering me all the time? I'm not into you. Doesn't go both ways. I feel nothing for you but disgust, and I've made that clear. But I guess somebody said if they had, our family had established that right from the beginning, from the get-go, and handled that better, Dennis wouldn't have lost his home. There wouldn't have been a false arrest. And Dennis wouldn't have suffered and incurred the crap he had to go through. He's a little kid. So we're kind of aggravated that Craig and Dana didn't take care of that better. Well, I agree. I wish they wouldn't have opened their home and their hearts and their lives to you and shoved me out. I didn't think that was fair. I didn't think it was the right thing to do. I don't like what my son went through because of it. And, but I'll tell you, and so when you ask, is your family a leak? What am I supposed to say to that, Mr. Perry? You're closer to them than I am. You ask them. I'm not told who the leaks are. I don't even care. It's a need to know, and I don't need to know that. You need to direct your questions and bother your attorney with your questions. You're paying him for that. You're not paying me. You're starving me. So I'm not going to help you. Go to the people you pay and make them help you. And you get the fuck off me. Or the guys that got me this will do it for you. And you won't like how they do it any more than you like them getting me that. Was it up to you? It was not. Everything we quoted over the last 2 days, was it up to you that we got that? It was not. So why are you guys all confused as to who it's up to? Okay? Why don't you fuck off and leave everybody alone? Get a life. Show yourself weak. We took advantage of that, didn't we? Yeah, you need to fuck off and just stop bothering. Just stop. I don't want to hear what you have to say, Charles. Nobody understands why you think I would. Except deep, deep delusion. Bullshit yourself all the time.
Please! Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she had on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. That's okay.
This makes...
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want free for this. Please leave me alone.
Amen. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman's giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want free for this. Please leave me alone.
Amen. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman's giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want free for this. Please leave me alone.
Amen. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman's giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Alright, so here's my disclaimer. All the times that we get the information beforehand, Mr. Perry, it is to establish malicious aforethought, criminal intent, and premeditation. And then when you do it, we're like, well, we did say, I told you so. You took my car. I walked outside, my car's not there, and I'm like, well, we did say just yesterday that my car would be taken right from this place that it was taken from. So, we told you so. I did say, you're caught when you do the crime to me before you do it, not after. It's different than your other victims, but it's the same every time you do it. When you touch a hot stove, you get burned. You get caught when you do the crime to me. Now, bullshit yourself all you want. It doesn't change that. Here's my disclaimer. Equal protection, but for causation. That's what cops are supposed to do in connecting the dots when they get a stalking report. A lot of victims of domestic violence are stalked and killed, murdered, dead. We die, a lot of us. Mr. Perry's tried to kill me more than once. I guess they were talking about white oleanders the other day. That is a poisonous flower that will kill you dead. I'm not sure if it's tasteless or not. So why were they talking about it? You still trying to kill me? Has that helped you before when you tried to kill me? Okay, I mean, this is getting to a point where it's just one more thing Charles did. One more thing Charles talked about. One more thing Charles got quoted saying and talking about and planning that was malicious in the state of Oklahoma to cause me some sort of loss or injury, to coerce or force or push or cause duress or bother or invade or butt into, and he got caught. And then when he did it, we're like, well, we did say, I told you so. I mean, this is 7 years of this, dum-dum. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? This talks about the use of cell phone hacking and voyeurism and shit. Technology now makes it easier to stalk women. I'm asserting my right to equal protection of the Violence Against Women Act, Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513, and any similar state law. You need to fuck off. You got a question, call your attorney.